This is Jon Gilbert with East Carolina Athletics. You are experiencing social distancing sponsored by Suddenlink. We have very special guests with us today. We have the legendary Drew Steele. Drew, say hello and wave to the crowd.
Hi, guys.
And then we have Drew's parents, Mike and Sandy Steele. Mike and Sandy, say hello.
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 The coronavirus has really changed Drew's schedule. I know he's very regimented. Drew works in our athletic department on Tuesdays and Thursdays in the equipment room, and he always comes to my office and either brings bagels or a biscuit. So Drew, I've been missing you coming to the office, and I can't wait for you to come back. But I also know that you have two other jobs. Drew also works at Eastern Orthodontics and Pediatric Dentistry, and then he also works at the Drew Steele Center. So Drew, I know you can't go to work at any of those places. Tell me what you've been doing each day.
Okay, number one, Tuesday and Thursday I first out, and Tuesday I am trading, and Wednesday I board news and mail.
All right, so and that's keeping you busy. Like, what do you? I heard you say workout. What are you doing for a workout?
Live in basketball.
Lift and play basketball. That's
Yeah.
good. And when you play basketball, does your dad help coach you with basketball, or are you doing that on your own?
I have my training.
Drew, that's when you use your trainer, but right
Yeah.
now you're not using your trainer. Did you play basketball yesterday with your niece and nephew?
Yeah.
Yeah, John, we played pig because there were so many of us, but Drew said he's not as good in pig as he is in horse.
Yeah, we all need a few extra shots.
Yeah.
But Mike, I know this pandemic has really affected Drew's daily schedule. How have you worked to keep him busy?
You know, he's really done a lot better than we thought he would do because, as you mentioned, he really has he can't wait to go on Tuesday and Thursday and see you and JJ and Ryan. I mean, he just can't wait. And I don't know how Ryan and JJ are being fed now on Tuesday and Thursday. I don't know how they're surviving. But every one of his jobs, he just loves it. And so it's come to a complete stop. And so, like, we've been trying to go for walks. Sandy's taking him for a lot of walks, trying to get him some exercise. And, you know, he's if he could, he'd go up and do that wrestling in his room and watch wrestling. And you know how much he likes that. But he's been playing with the grandkids. He's done a really good job.
Good. Sandy, the Drew Steele Center opened in 2012 and plays such an important role in serving those in our community with special needs. I know the Exceptional Baseball League has also been put on hold until this pandemic is over. Talk about the importance of these places and what it provides to our special needs community.
Well, for special needs community, there are probably less opportunities for them to get out and do things and exercise and socialize. So with having the Drew Steele Center shut down where they're able to go in and exercise, but there's a lot of social events that are planned, you know, that's no longer. Exceptional Baseball, we were to start in March and go every Saturday. And so we're not seeing those families and those kids and adults. So they are, you know, sometimes they're socially isolated a little bit anyway, and this is even more so away from their friends. So it's been difficult. And we also worry about them. It's been necessary because many of them are, they're at high risk for getting the virus. So it's good they're sheltering, but we miss them all.
Yes, we do. With the Exceptional Baseball League on hold for now, has Drew been practicing his swing? I know he has a nickname of Big Poppy. Has he been practicing his baseball swing?
Drew, tell him what you did yesterday.
I hit the house and hit the field. No,
Yeah,
he hit
he hit the neighbor's house. Yeah, Big Poppy pointed out to the house, and then he hit it. Yeah. So yeah, he's still got it, John. He's still got the. He pointed out Big Poppy, and boom, it went right off the house. Yeah.
Well, I know how important how groups best buddies are and what they are to this community, and so we can't wait for that to get going again. Drew, the football team opens on August 29th against Marshall, and I've heard you say several times that you were thinking about retiring, and I want to know if you're going to be on the sidelines on August 29th, or will you be in retirement?
I don't know yet.
Oh,
Yeah.
you don't know yet. And do you have a date of when you plan on announcing whether you'll be back or whether you will retire or not? And would you consider having a press conference?
What? Are you ask mom and dad?
I need to ask mom and dad about your retirement date.
Yeah.
Sandy
I
and Mike,
think that
do you
he's a
comment
lot
on-
like Sugar Ray. He's like Sugar Ray. I think that like he's never going to fight again, but probably in 2 weeks. So yeah, I think he'll be back. He wouldn't miss it for the world, would you, Drew?
Well, dad.
and Drew, can you tell me who else we play in football this season?
He'll play Marshall,
Marshall,
Center, and South Carolina.
South Carolina.
Yeah. And Cincinnati and everything.
Yep, that's good.
How many games we going to win, Drew?
13-0.
13-0. Yeah.
Coach Houston would like that as well. He likes 13-0. Mike, I know Drew was recently crowned as the first ever North Carolina Best Buddies Champion of the Year for his efforts with the nonprofit. How important is Best Buddies to your family?
Well, it's just getting started. Best Buddies in North Carolina and in Pitt County, and Liz Bateman, she really did a great job for us there. We've been fortunate in that Drew, just because Drew's Drew, he's always had somebody that kind of it was his best buddy. People taking him to work, people taking him to lunch, being at the school. But so many kids don't, and this program enables someone at school that wants to volunteer to basically be that person's best buddy and get them into the flow of the so-called regular school systems and stuff. And so it's going to really help a lot of kids.
Yeah. Drew, I've seen you in photos of a tuxedo and a suit. The most recent one was from the Project Prom you attended. Do you enjoy wearing a suit and tie?
Yes.
And do you have a favorite tie that you wear?
Purple tie.
And who picks out and ties your tie for you?
Dad.
Dad doesn't tie the tie. Who ties the tie? Mom. Thank you.
Mom ties the tie. We all need help. I need help tying my ties sometimes.
Yeah.
Drew, who would you rather have take you to work, Mom or Dad?
Dad.
And why is that?
Dad is ordering me pickles and cheese biscuits.
And we get to listen to the radio as loud as we want, don't we?
Yeah, Dad.
I like those biscuits as well. Sandy and Mike, Drew regularly makes phone calls to people in the community and actually I would say in the country as part of Drew's daily ritual. Will the two of you kind of shed some light on how that got started and who all is involved?
Well, I can't name who all's involved. Past coaches, a few relatives, lots of friends, and very few women, though. He has just a few women because they talk too much.
He's got too many questions. Yeah, he's got Dawn Manning, who out of Pitt Community College. She's
the athletic director there.
And she's one of them. But Drew just found out this week that Doug Martin, who's the golf coach at Cincinnati, his son, who's been to he's a golfer, South Africa's in San Francisco now, and we just found out through Drew that Cody's going to have a baby. They're going to have a baby, and so it went from Cincinnati, and he was in Cody's wedding in Cincinnati. I mean, he has a way, but once you get on the list, as JJ can tell you, and Ryan, you better be careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you ask how it got started. I don't even remember. We got him a phone because we felt he needed it. as many places as he goes. And he's the one who decided he's going to start calling everybody. And he calls that, it's his work, it's his business to call everybody. And if it's time to call you, Jon, I have to wait. I have to wait my turn to ask a question.
I have been around when those calls have been made. Drew, I want you to tell everybody what you ask people when you call them.
Lunch, dinner, and breakfast.
Lunch, dinner, and breakfast. That's
Yeah,
right.
what they had for lunch, dinner, and breakfast. And then, all right, speaking of lunch, dinner, and breakfast, Drew, I know you have a routine Monday through Friday of where you eat for lunch every day. And so I'm going to list the day, and then I want you to tell the group where you eat. All right, so on Monday, where do you eat?
Jimmy John's.
Jimmy John's. Tuesday?
Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday at Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Wednesday?
Yes, please.
Wednesday's Zaxby's.
Yeah.
Thursday?
Thursday, mate.
Jersey Mike's. And what do you get at Jersey Mike's?
Turkey and cheese.
Turkey and cheese. I like the turkey and cheese. And then on Friday?
Chicken barbecue inside.
Chicken fajita. Chicken fajitas on Friday, and I expect every one of those restaurants now to be a Drew Steele sponsor. Every time they see Drew Steele, they ought to give them a free meal. And then I know sometimes, because I've seen this, you like ribs from a certain place.
Logan's.
Yeah, Logan's. Logan's
we
the
had,
sponsor of ECU Athletics. And we like Logan's as well. Drew, I want to ask you a couple wrestling questions.
Okay.
All right. Your favorite wrestler?
Is John Cena.
John Cena. He's one of the top paid wrestlers from last year. Who do you think would win a wrestling match between The Undertaker and Skip Holtz?
Undertaker.
Undertaker. And are you aware that The Undertaker occasionally wears makeup?
No.
No. All right. What about the Nature Boy Ric Flair?
Ric Flair is retiring.
Ric Flair is retiring, but I know because I've seen it personally. Could you give me a little imitation of the Nature Boy?
Woo!
That is clearly that is clearly Ric Flair. Sandy and Mike, what do you want the people of Greenville and Eastern North Carolina to know about Drew?
Oh, and you found this out. He just brightens up the room. I mean, he truly. One of the hardest things we've had to do, Jon, one of the truly hardest things is to stop him from hugging temporarily, because he is the best hugger. And this elbow thing, it took us 3 weeks to get him to do the elbow. But Drew Steele, he's a hard worker. He's got a good heart, and he just really enjoys being around people. He is what you see is what you get with him.
Yeah, Sandy.
I think too, he is such a leader in his own right. He figures out things so fast, which to me is what a lot of leaders do. They are always thinking, and then he goes with it. He makes his decision and goes with it. And we've been able to go with him on that. And I think that's made him so successful too.
And Jon, the other thing, we always say that Drew says what a lot of us were thinking. And like after you had that bagel and it was just you and he in the room, and he asked you, so what do you do the rest of the day? That's just, sometimes he's got those questions.
Drew is 100% honest. And that's one of the things I love about him. Drew, what would you like to say to Pirate Nation?
Go Pirates!
That's a good one. Go Pirates. For me, one of the most rewarding parts of moving this community in Eastern North Carolina and ECU is forming a lifelong relationship with Drew and with your family. Drew comes in my office, unannounced every Tuesday and Thursday, and routinely comes in the middle of our leadership team meeting It's something that I look forward to each week because he brings an energy, to this building that not many people can bring. And we love Drew for that. And Drew makes you feel like every day is your birthday. So Drew, I can't wait to have you back in the building and back to work. And Drew, I do want to say I appreciate you brushing your hair for today's video. It looks really good.
He took a
Sandy
shower
and
for
Mike.
you.
Yeah, and he shaved. He shaved. He
Yeah,
didn't know we weren't going to shave, Drew.
Drew, you look really good, buddy.
Fine.
Sandy and Mike, want to thank you for allowing East Carolina Athletics to have the relationship we have with Drew, the continued relationship. He truly is an inspiration for us all. This is Jon Gilbert for Mike and Sandy Steele, for the celebrity Drew Steele. You've been experiencing social distancing sponsored by Suddenlink. Go Pirates.
Go Pirates.